A shortage of teachers across the U.S. is impacting special education particularly hard. Good evening, I'm Latricia Thomas.
And I'm Josh Rowe. For the last school year, the Tennessee Department of Education says 45% of public schools nationwide are operating without full teaching staff. For many of these positions, licensed teachers can get an endorsement exemption allowing them to teach outside their field.
But that's not allowed for things like special education. Take a look at this chart from the State Department of Ed. It shows the number of vacancies in different endorsement areas. Now you can see that while most remain stable from one year to the next, special education right there in this bar graph, it saw a notable increase.
The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights held a briefing on the teacher shortage today, and they identified a lack of special educators as a major problem.
The largest issue is a lack of qualified, certified, and prepared special education teachers in schools. Contributing to this issue are factors such as a lack of interest in education, low pay, and a lack of respect for the work that special education teachers do.
News Channel 9's Ray Collada reached out to our school districts here to learn how they were faring with this shortage. What'd you find, Ray?
Latricia, Josh, according to experts in the field, the teacher shortage has been a big problem for years, taking a big turn for the worst post-COVID-19. And according to one special education teacher I spoke to, this shortage has affected students in more ways than one.
As a teacher, maybe I would normally have 15 kids on my caseload, but because, as you noted, there are so many vacancies, so many open positions, I end up having to take over what would be another second or even third person's caseload.
For 3 decades, special education professor Kimber Wilkinson says she's been helping students with special needs. And according to Wilkinson, this shortage isn't anything new.
Special education has always, unfortunately, had more vacancies than general education teacher positions.
But now, the Department of Civil Rights looks to change that as they launch an investigation into the teacher shortage and how it affects students with disabilities.
The concern is ensuring that these students are being able to be afforded these accommodations when they find themselves in the public educational system, and more specifically, when there is not the personnel and the capacity necessary to provide those accommodations.
We wanted to know if this shortage is affecting students here at home. Hamilton County school officials say even though they have been able to fill vacancies more effectively than other districts their size, special education positions accounts for 30% of all their teacher vacancies. Professor Tuan Nguyen says this may be just a tip of the iceberg.
Even though we know the extent of the teacher shortages nationally, there are 2 main limitations. One limitation is that there's poor data infrastructure, such as the lack of a national database that collects information on teacher shortages.
At the end of the day, Gilchrist says this is just the beginning to finally solving the teacher shortage.
And so as the Civil Rights Commission, we just want to make sure that these students who are entitled to those services based upon the law, that they're getting what they're entitled to.
Now, according to Commissioner Gilchrist, we can expect the final report sometime next summer. Latricia?
Ray, thank you. The U.S. Department of Education says 78% of public schools reported difficulty in hiring special education staff last year.